Hello, this is video 18 and here we're looking at positive externalities. In the previous video you learned that we can identify different kinds of costs and benefits in economic activity. We talk about private and external costs and benefits, and private plus external means social costs or social benefits, the entire costs or the entire benefits. We identified, of course, that private costs or private benefits are those costs and benefits that buyers and sellers have to consider, and it's those costs and benefits, the private ones, that make them decide whether they do economic activity or not. But they ignore the external costs and the external benefits. They're ignored because the buyers and sellers don't have to pay or don't get those benefits or pay those costs. Consequently, they ignore them. But the existence of external costs and external benefits means that what the market delivers as a level of output may not be the best level of output for society. Hence, the market fails to deliver the best level of output for society, hence there's market failure. So in this video now, I'm going to look at positive externalities, a type of market failure in markets where a lot of positive externalities get generated. It tends to lead to, if we leave it to the market, it leads to underproduction of a good. So let's get on with it. So market failure may occur in markets that generate positive externalities because the market mechanism leads to underproduction in the market. We leave it to the market, we get an underproduction, less production than is good for society. The market generated level of output is below the socially optimal level of output, and that's market failure. So an example market might be the market for higher education. Private benefits of higher education, if it was left to the market mechanism, private benefits would be the jobs created at universities, good for a local economy, greater earning potential and employability for graduates. So that's why the customers of higher education would go, because they see benefits for themselves, and the pleasure, perhaps the pleasure of studying and life as a student for a few years. They would be the benefits enjoyed by the university and by the students. But there are external benefits. The country is more productive if we have lots of graduates with more skills. Better workers attract foreign firms to invest in a country. Higher government tax receipts, because if more graduates are working and are working at higher levels, they're going to pay more tax, and the government collects tax, and everyone benefits then because the government has more money to spend on roads, on defence, on healthcare. And we might get more innovation and more progress over time if we have a lot of graduates in our economy. And there are benefits also for local areas. If there's a university in a town or a city, that's going to be very good for the local economy, isn't it? So these are the private benefits and external benefits of higher education. And we can show this on a diagram. We can show that the market fails because if we leave it to the market. You must remember, this is only if we leave it to the market mechanism. Don't think what's going on now in society, because it's not left to the market mechanism. The government currently tries to correct this market failure. So you have to picture it as if the higher education was simply something you buy or don't buy. Okay? So, as I showed in the last diagram, in the last video, we have falling marginal private benefits, rising marginal private costs. If we left it to the market mechanism, that would be the market-generated level of output. Now, every single externality diagram you ever draw starts like that. Because I know students that make a mess of labelling these. Start every externality, negative, positive, solutions to externalities, every single externality diagram you draw, start it like that. Falling marginal private benefit, rising marginal private cost, that's the market-generated level of output. And now we say, well, what do we want to show? In this diagram, we want to show positive externalities. So we will say that although those are the private costs, they are also the social costs, because there are no additional external costs. But there are external benefits, so I need to expand this private benefit curve to include the external benefits as well. There. That's the marginal social benefits, because it's added to the private benefits, the external benefits. Now, although this was the level of production that would be delivered if it was left to market forces, we can see that the best level of output for society, where marginal social benefits equal marginal social costs, is here. This is the best level of output for society. This is the socially optimal level of output. And the market has failed because the market's failed to deliver enough for what's good for society. In fact, all of these units that should be produced but are not being produced if we leave it to the market would give more benefit than cost. Consequently, this area here is the welfare gain that would be enjoyed if the market was corrected. It's a possible extra gain that can be had if the market is corrected. Let me give you a nice, neat version of this diagram. There. That is the same diagram. So there's the market level of output. It's not enough. There is more benefit to be had. That's the socially optimal level of output. The government can correct this by offering a subsidy and reducing those private costs. So we'll get to how we do that in another in a diagram in another video, in video 20. But you can see that that in a market such as higher education, or maybe healthcare is another example, the market fails because it underproduces, because although the private costs and the private benefits would deliver this, the buyers and sellers are ignoring the additional extra external benefits that can be had in this industry and would show up if we included them in the MSB curve, and that would show us that this is the best level for society. And one way to remember welfare gain, and make sure you get the right triangle, is with positive externalities. That triangle is, if you like, pointing outwards. It's pointing to having more. Think of it as a triangle that's pointing outwards, saying we need more in this market. With negative externalities, and there's overproduction, the welfare loss triangle points to less. So that's a way of ensuring that you get the right triangle shaded. Okay, positive externalities, more is needed. The triangle, if you like, is pointing outwards. Just a little trick to help you. If you don't actually understand it, at least you'll get the right triangle. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.